What's up, everyone? Hobbies here. Today, we are talking about one of the most badass ninja in G.I. Joe history, Snake Eyes. You know what always pops into my mind? A G.I. Joe and Transformers crossover movie, with Snake Eyes riding into battle in Hound's Jeep mode, while Autobots and Joes take on evil together. Now that will be epic. But until that happens, let's take a closer look at this legendary silent ninja and find out why he's still one of the coolest characters ever created. Yo Joe! Regardless of its size, this figure has a lot of articulation. Still, the joints are quite small, so you have to be careful when playing with it. Let's start with the head. It can turn left like this and also turn right like this, and it can look up a little and also look down just a little bit. Not a huge range, but enough to pull off some cool poses. Moving on to the arms, there is plenty of articulation to play around with. You've got an elbow joint that allows for some nice bending poses, along with a shoulder joint that give the arms a pretty good range of movement. On top of that, the arms can rotate a full 360 degrees, making it much easier to recreate dynamic action poses or just find the perfect display angle. One thing to keep in mind, though some of the joints are quite tight straight off the box, that's not necessarily a bad thing since it helps the figure hold poses better. You can also rotate the lower arm, which is give you even more freedom when setting up different poses. And the hands are fully rotatable too, so you can easily adjust the wrist position to match whatever pose you are aiming for. It's a small feature, but it makes a surprisingly big difference. Alright, now let's check out the other arm. It's pretty much rocking the exact same features as the right arm, so you are getting the same range of movement and posing options on both sides. One thing to note, like many Snake Eyes figures out there, some of the joints can feel a little loose, but honestly, it's nothing too crazy and still totally manageable. That's just kind of how a lot of Snake Eyes figures are made. The good news is that the figure itself is pretty lightweight, and the accessories are not heavy either. So even with those slightly loose joints, you can still pull off a ton of awesome poses without much trouble. Ninja stance, action pose, stealth mode, you name it. Snake Eyes is ready for the mission. Just be a little gentle when you are playing around with it. Treat your ninja body with some respect, and everything should be just fine. The legs also have a pretty awesome range of movement. You can move them forward, backward, and out to the sides, giving you plenty of freedom to pull off all kinds of cool action poses. Pretty impressive for a figure this size. Down below, you've got knee joints and ankle joints to help fine tune those stance. One thing to keep in mind though, the ankle joints are actually pretty tight. That's great for stability, but you'll want to be a little careful when moving them around. No need to rush, just take it easy and let the joint loosen up naturally over time. So yeah, this is what I meant by a tight joint. It definitely takes a little extra effort to move, but that's not always a bad thing. This figure also comes with an F joint. The range is not huge, but it's enough to give your pose a little extra personality. And let's not forget the hips joint. You can rotate them left and right, which adds even more flexibility. I almost forgot about the ankle. You can rotate it a full 360 degrees too, which just makes me wonder if this figure has better ankles than I do. Other than that, the rest of the parts are pretty much the same as the right side. Good movement, decent flexibility, and no major issues. Overall, everything works nicely and makes posing the figure a lot of fun. Alright, guys, I think we spent enough time geeking out over the joints and articulation. And honestly, there's not much to complain about. The articulation is top notch, the range of movement is awesome, and you can pull off a ton of cool poses without too much trouble. Whether you want a relaxed stance or a full on action pose, this figure can handle it pretty well. But let's be real, articulation is only half the story. A figure can have all the joints in the world, but if it doesn't look good, what's the point, right? So let's move on to the details. This is where we get a closer look at the sculpt, paint, and all those little touches that make the figure stand out. For the details, let's start with his head. You can see the Google here, and wow, they are really attached really tight to the head. That's actually pretty nice because they stay in place and then go flying across the room every time you touch the figure. And next up, we've got this cool sling bag with a cobra symbol on it. Now hold on a second. Cobra on Snake Eyes? What happened here? Did he accidentally grab the wrong bag before heading out on mission? It's actually a really fun little detail that makes the figure stand out. We also get a small pocket right here, plus another bag hanging on the back. Because a ninja can never have too much storage space. For shuriken, ninja snack, etc. etc. And another small pocket right here, attached to his belt. And then we have a green grenade here. Now that's wild. We've actually got two small pockets here, plus a knife sheath attached to the outfit, and also a gun holster here. Honestly, Snake Eyes pack his weapon better than most of us pack for our vacation. Alright, guys, let's move on. And right there, we've got the awesome Arashikage symbol. Yup, Snake Eyes definitely had a rough day. Those battle wounds don't lie. This ninja has seen some serious action. Gotta love the weapon details too. That Uzi looks mean, dangerous, and totally ready for business. Snake Eyes clearly did not come to negotiate. And of course, the knife has its own little pocket too. Nice and secure, easy to access, and looking absolutely awesome. It's one of the small details that might not jump out at first, but once you notice, you can help but appreciate it. Beautiful, isn't it? And the handgun, yup, you can store it in the holsters too. Sounds easy, right? Well, not exactly. It takes a ninja master patience, steady hands, and maybe a little bit of luck to get in there just right. It's a fun challenge that might have you saying, one more try, a few times before you nail it. And I failed spectacularly. Alright, no worries. Every ninja starts somewhere. Let's take a deep breath, summon our inner ninja master, and give it one more shot. This time, the holster won't know what hit it. Finally, after all that hard work, the handgun is safely in the holsters. The only problem? It's so black that it's almost invisible. We won the battle, but now we have to find the reward. Did I mention before that you can also remove the belt? Pretty cool feature, but I will be careful with it. Do it too many times, and the belt might start getting loose. Still, it's a nice little gimmick that deserves some appreciation. Small pocket right here. And yep, there's also a little hole at the bottom so you can plug it onto the stand. So guys, I think that's everything for Snake Eyes. Overall, this figure is absolutely worth it adding to your collection. It's one of the coolest battle damage Snake Eyes figure ever made. And honestly, it looks like this ninja just walk out of an epic battlefield and strike onto yourself. The good news is, I still have a ton of Snake Eyes figure to talk about. So don't worry, we'll definitely be checking out more of them in the future videos. Thank you so much for watching and for all the amazing support. You guys are breathtaking. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know your favorite Snake Eyes figure in the comment. Until the next video, yo Joe!